So it's another moment on Lagos television, and it is Techbridge time. This is where we connect all the dots for you around the world of technology. We just want to make sure that you have technology working for you and not against you. There are a lot of options you can have in the tech space. There are lots of solutions that you can deploy. But eventually, there is a specific solution to that challenge that you have. And that is why we have this show, Technology, Techbridge, Lagos television. We put all of this together to ensure that you have the exact solution you need. I am Seyifunmi Olatide, and I welcome you to Techbridge today. So we realize that there are a lot of options we can have, and virtually everybody has his or her life weaved around mobile devices. Talk about transactions, talk about our daily living, talk about health, wellness, and more. We have our lives around mobile devices. So it won't be out of place if we constantly check this space to ensure that we still have our life intact. So all this and more are what I'll be talking about on today's episode of Techbridge. Stay with me, I go for this quick break. It's still Techbridge on Lagos television. Thanks for staying with me. Still Techbridge on Lagos television, and before that break I mentioned that we'll be looking at the mobile devices, the space that we have there to ensure that we still have our life intact. There are lots of pieces of information all over the place around how you can secure yourself and your mobile device. And you know what? It's not actually the price of the phone that comes to mind. It is the amount of data and the security breach, invasion of privacy. Those are the things that come to people's mind when they have their devices stolen or they misplace it. So how do we ensure that we stay safe and we still have our life intact? It comes to psychology. You realize that at some point you don't have good internet connection on your phone, or your phone is down, your mobile device is down. You feel out of this world. You feel like you are isolated. You feel that nothing is working. That speaks volume about the impact of mobile devices on our lives. So let's see how we can secure ourselves, secure our lives better. Techbridge on Lagos television. So I'll be taking the very first one, and that is talking about the fact that you can lock your SIM card. Eventually, you know that your SIM card holds a lot of data about you, your contacts, your SMSs, your bank transactions, and in fact, it is the bedrock of most of the transactions you do online, because there is a kind of, I call it, handshake between your SIM card and the outside world. So when people's phone gets lost or they are misplaced, what comes to mind is, yay, my contacts, yay, my bank account, hey, hope they won't hack it. Those are the things that come to mind. But there is a way you can actually safeguard yourself, and that is by locking your SIM card. Either you're using one or two, there is a way you can do it on your Android phone. I'll be focusing on Android phones today. So let's get down to business. So if you have your mobile device, you can quickly do this. That is, if you have not done it before now. Let's go together. If you have your Android device with you, you go to settings. Whenever you find your settings, you go to biometrics and yes, you go to biometrics and security. So when you see that, you pick it. Then you go down the page. At least on this device, I have all the security settings. You pick it, and what you have on the next page is set up SIM card lock. It is the very topmost option you have there. So you pick that too. Then you see this place. On this device, the SIM card is not locked yet. So I need to activate the SIM card lock. So how do I do that? I pick on this toggle button that is supposed to switch the option on. So I click it, And what comes next? It is requesting your default SIM card lock, and virtually in Nigeria, the default SIM card pin is 4 zeros. But you have to change that to ensure that you have some privacy for yourself. So you input the default one. After imputing that, then you can take the option of change pin. Then when you get there, you can input the pin that you want. I'm going to input my own just now. So then you say okay. It's going to ask you one more time how you want to do that. Then you do it and you see that the toggle button is on, it's turning blue. So this way, what happens when you switch off your phone and put it on again, you realize that you will not be able to have access to your device unless you put your SIM card pin. And this is totally different from device lock. Naturally, most of us have our devices locked with either numbers or finger patterns or fingerprint. But this one actually looks the same. So what this does is that if at any point you misplace your phone and somebody picks your SIM card and wants to be mischievous about it, the person will not have direct access to your SIM card. It means that your banking transactions are safe. And you know that when it comes to bank transactions, before you do anything, if you have registered properly on your banking app, before any transaction can sail through, it will ask you for an OTP, that is one-time password. A one-time password will be sent to that phone. So if at any point anybody gets to that stage, the person will not have access to your OTP. That means that your banking transaction is still secure. That is still not really now the fact that immediately you notice that you have your device misplaced, contact your bankers to ensure that the account is locked for the moment or something is done to secure your bank account. So this way, you have your messages intact, you have your data intact, you have your contacts in place, and you'll be sure that it is not getting in the wrong hand. So there is a lot of advantage to this if you try it out. But remember, I told you it is totally different from locking your device for unauthorized access. This one is strictly for your SIM card. So this is a very first way I'm going to pick today, locking your SIM card. Techbridge on Lagos Television. So thanks for staying with Techbridge on Lagos Television. I've just told you how to lock your SIM card to ensure that you stop unauthorized access to the content of your SIM card, and I explained that eventually your SIM card is a bedrock of virtually everything you do out there. So if you lock it, you can be sure that you have some certain level of sanity in that area. So let's move to our social media platforms. Yes, the conversation around our social media platforms and how you can secure them can never be exhausted. So you know that these bad people, the bad guys, keep updating themselves day by day to ensure that they have a way of bridging your security on the social media platforms. So eventually the providers of these platforms are never stopping to ensure that they keep updating the security aspect. But there is a part you need to play. If they make these platforms available for you to secure yourself and you are not taking advantage of it, it is as good as nothing. So let me navigate you through how to ensure that you have your basic social media handles secure. So I'll start from WhatsApp. That one is actually easy. To secure your WhatsApp, you realize that some people cry foul that their WhatsApp accounts have been hacked. So I'll be taking you through two-factor authentication process today. They call it 2FA. And eventually, it saves a whole lot of stress. It secures you better. As long as you're also careful and you're not greedy. Yes, I know what I'm saying because I'll just take you through it. So for WhatsApp, if you have not done it already, let's go through it. So if you get to your WhatsApp, you go to your settings, the three dots on the top right hand of your device. You click it, then you go to settings. When you get to settings, you see privacy, security, or change number, that is under accounts. So you pick that. Then you see this option that says two-step verification. That is what you click. And on this device, I've actually activated that function. But on your own device, it's going to ask you to input PIN. So when you get to this page, it's going to ask you to input 6 digits. And those 6 digits are the numbers you can easily remember, that you don't have to write somewhere before you remember it. And of course, it shouldn't be your birthday or any day that is easily accessed by anybody. Not something that anybody can just think up around you. not the birthday of your 3 kids, that 20 or 14 or 14 18 20. No, it has to be something away from what anybody could easily guess about you. So impute this, then you're fine. Periodically, WhatsApp will ensure that you have this secured. It will just check it on you. Before you access your device, it will ask you at times to impute your 6-digit PIN just to ensure that you're still safe. What this does is that if at any point, anybody, any device that is not so registered to your SIM, try to access your WhatsApp account, it will ask for these 6 digits. So what these hackers do is that they send another message to you that you should impute those 6 digits on that same platform. You shouldn't follow that. That is why I said earlier that if you are not greedy, you will have your WhatsApp intact. Because if you see all these options, sometimes last week someone sent to me that don't miss this offer from the vice president, 100,000 naira for you. And I told the person immediately that that was a scam. If you follow that link, it's going to ask you to impute some details, and eventually it will ask you to impute your 6-digit PIN on your WhatsApp. Once you impute it, the bad guy got you already. So if you are not greedy, you don't sign up for any promo and you are receiving messages that you've won 10 million naira, that is being greedy, and you want to follow that up. So you have to be sure that you are not greedy, you are careful on your WhatsApp. So if you have this in place, your WhatsApp is secure. You can go through the process again. I'll just display it on the screen how to do it. That is the first one I'm picking for the social media platforms. Techbridge on Lagos Television. Thanks for staying with me on Lagos Television. Techbridge is the show. I've been talking about security around your mobile devices because I realized that we should periodically visit this space because bad guys are constantly visiting this space and they are taking advantage of us. So this show is to ensure that you don't fall prey to bad guys and you're better secured confidently. So let's go to Facebook. A lot of us use Facebook. Of course, I've seen some exceptional people who are just so allergic to Facebook, but most of us have our Facebook accounts. So if you don't want to cry foul one day that your account has been hacked, put this in place because Facebook has provided this factor authentication, 2-factor authentication for you so that you can use it. So if it's there and you're not using it, it's as good as nothing. So let me navigate you through it, and once you activate it, you are secured at your Facebook end. Of course, if you're still careful. So let's go through it. So I'm launching my Facebook Lite, and of course it is a less data consumption version of Facebook compared to the full-fledged Facebook. So I'm going to use that to save data. So when you get to this place, the 3 lines on the top right, of course, that is where you find your settings. So you scroll down, then you find your setting. Then at that place, you see all the options you have from account settings to security. So under security, you have some sub options as well. That is where you have your security and login. So you pick security. It loads. And this is where you have the option we are talking about. So when you get to this place, it's going to ask you for 6 digits that you must not forget. This ensures that you have your 2-factor authentication working. So you impute it, then it asks you for confirmation. And once you do this, at a point you might encounter this data. If you have to log into your Facebook again, it's going to ask you for passwords. This is just part of the security measures to ensure that your 2-factor authentication is working. So if you activate this, you realize that before an unknown device gets into your Facebook account, it is going to be very difficult because it's going to ask for that 2-factor authentication, and only you can approve that 2-factor authentication. If you are not that porous with your mobile devices or porous with your mouth, if you have mentioned it somewhere, I don't know. But aside that, that is a form of security on your Facebook. And of course, I encourage everyone to activate it. 2-factor authentication on Facebook is still Techbridge on Lagos Television. Alright, thanks for staying with Techbridge on Lagos Television. I've been talking about security around your mobile devices. I'm doing this because I realized that our lives are weaved around mobile devices. If we misplace our mobile device, it affects us psychologically. That means it has a lot to do with our lives. So let's see how we can keep our lives intact as much as possible. So I've talked about locking your SIM card. I've also talked about your 2-factor authentication on WhatsApp and Facebook. So let's go to IG, that is Instagram. Let's see how you can also secure yourself better over there. We love Instagram, we love IG. It is more visual, it is more entertaining. So let's also secure ourselves over there. So go to your Instagram page. So you go to the 3 dots or 3 lines at the top right hand side of your mobile device on your screen. So if you go there, you see the options that you have. Go to the bottom page and you see settings. You click it. Then you have the options that you need to pick. So here you have security. So you click security as well. There you have 2-factor authentication. That is the 1, 2, 3, the 4th option. So you click it and it's going to ask you to get started, add extra security to your account. So you get started, and of course you need to activate this button, that is your toggle button, to ensure that it turns on. So if you follow the process, you realize that you are better secured. It means that if a third party or an unknown device wants to sign into your Instagram account, it's going to ask for all of this. And if the person can't go through the process, eventually you'll be notified on your mobile device to ensure that you are the one authorizing the login details. So all these things are just meant for you to take advantage of. The social media handles have been secured better by the providers. So we need to start taking advantage of the security features. It is not just enough for you to know your password and just fly with it. Things happen. Bad guys are upgrading, so you need to upgrade yourself as well. And if you must upgrade yourself, you need to take advantage of all these options that are provided by the social media handles or developers. So I've talked about like 4 today to secure your mobile device, secure your life better, talking about the SIM card lock, talking about the 2-factor authentication on 3 major social media. That is talking about the Facebook, the WhatsApp, and of course Instagram. Plus all of this, you must ensure that you don't skip updates to your mobile devices, especially your Android phones. Whenever it pops up that you should update your OS, kindly do it. It is for safety, it is for security. And all of these are just part of the processes you need to follow from time to time to ensure that you have your life intact via mobile device. So it's still Techbridge on Lagos Television. Stay with me. So that's the show today. Many thanks for connecting with us. I've talked about how to ensure that you have your mobile device secured better, because I realize that our mobile devices are strongly connected to our lives. They are strongly connected to our psychological well-being, our mental well-being. So it's not just about how much you bought the device. It is actually about what that device does for you. The security, the privacy, the contacts, the SMSs, the banking transactions, and more. So give it time, invest your time in it, invest your knowledge in it, and of course I've helped you like halfway, so you can pick it from here and just get a better life with it. So that's the show today. Many thanks for connecting. Remember that you can connect with Techbridge on Facebook, that is Techbridgeltv, and of course on YouTube we are Techbridgeltv as well. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can have a prompt of this fresh episode and all of that previous episodes. You can also download them and watch them again and again. I also want to use this opportunity to thank everyone who sent messages to us on our Facebook page via the messaging platform. We try as much as possible to respond to your messages to ensure that you have the very best of experience deploying technology and also clear the air if there's anything you are not so clear about during our show. We appreciate you a lot. Keep the messages coming. Keep asking your questions. I will continue to do our best to answer your questions. So till some other time, keep innovating, keep achieving more, and keep leveraging on technology. I am Sheyi from Yola today. Bye for now.